Catherine. After reading the script of American Song, I wrote this essay called Gun Violence. Why is it normal? A couple of weeks ago, my school was threatened by a gun threat and closed for the entire day. I remember talking to my mom on the phone, and she said, "Lonnae, school is closed tomorrow because of a gun threat." And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, "Wow, great. Now I don't have to study for that big test." My friends around me laughed and we shrugged it off, but afterwards I began to feel uneasy. I couldn't believe that I had just said that. Why hadn't I felt violated or upset? Not only for my school, but I myself should have felt like a target. Someone had threatened the lives of my friends, my teachers, and myself. Sure, it was probably some kind of useless prank, as all my classmates kept telling me, but what if it wasn't? What if it really was a real threat, and I had just shrugged it off? What if I had gone off to school the next day and never seen my parents again? Have mass shootings become such a normal routine that my generation and I have been so desensitized that we just don't care anymore? We apply it as a normal situation, or we put it on as a target of a funny joke. It can't be denied that today teens are bombarded with violence, with guns being embedded into television and movies, with songs like Pumped Up Kicks or the new blockbuster Thriller. How can you not see them as cool instead of deadly? I challenge you all, starting tomorrow, count as many times as you see an act of violence through the use of a gun. And at the end of the day, if you can't find anything, well, then just watch the news. As a result, guns become an everyday occurrence, bleeding into our consciousness until we see violence as normal. In just 2015, Wisconsin, Florida, Maryland, California, Missouri, North Carolina, Louisiana, Washington, Michigan, Georgia, South Dakota, Oregon, Arizona, Texas, Tennessee, Las Vegas, and Indiana have all had shootings. I think we need to realize our situation is dire. Milwaukee and many other parts of Wisconsin have had a big rise in gun violence, but communities rarely talk about it. I know that my school has not been the only school in Wisconsin that has had an act of violence, or worse. If we don't think about the lives lost, who will? We as a state seem to urge for the change, but then after a few weeks it slowly fizzles out, and we move on to another scandal or debate, just trying to be heard over the endless other problems. I can't say I have a solution to the problem either. I don't. But maybe things could change if we actively spoke about our issues with our teens. People seem to shy away from such a touchy subject, but that's the best way to communicate. Or maybe our violence has stemmed from our loss and sense of connection in our community or in the world, which makes us feel lonely, so we turn to violence out of boredom. I don't know. All I know is that we need to ask ourselves a simple question. How can I make my state better? How can I make my country better for not just myself, but for the lives of future brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, and friends in Milwaukee? This should be our #1 priority. Thank you.